What's up, my SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another wrestling news video, and I'm going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know once again. This is episode 115 with the wrestling news part 36, and we're going to be talking about the wrestling news onto the WrestleTalk article. And we're going to start off today with some two WWE stars reportedly in concussion protocol. And yeah, Ricochet and Fallon Henley are both believed to be under WWE's concussion protocol following recent matches. Ricochet injury came during the Intercontinental Championship #1 contender four-way match on WWE Monday Night Raw that also featured The Miz, Bronson Reed, and Ivar. And also, it has been reported that Ricochet kicked out of the spot, which was supposed to lead to The Miz and Ivar being both declared winners, as Ricochet wasn't supposed to kick out. Excuse me. Not trying to do that. Anyways, with The Miz being declared the sole winner on Raw, he goes to face Gunther at Survivor Series, a match that was made official in a separate announcement to the other matches. The other matches for the upcoming PLE, potentially because the confusion, the original plan was for Ivar and The Miz to have decided one-on-one next week, although the plan was for Miz to win that. So the end result of him facing Gunther has ended up being the same. According on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer Oh, sorry about that. It says right here, Dave Meltzer addressed Ricochet's concussion, writing, Ricochet is believed to have had a concussion. He had no memory of anything that happened in much of the match, but other than that, was said to be feeling fine. He's in concussion protocol. There is no time frame when he will be able to wrestle again. It could be this weekend, and it could be a long time. but the hope was it wouldn't be long. On the November 7th episode of WWE NXT, Fallon Henley faced Tiffany Stratton in a Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match during which Henley reported suffering an injury. Meltzer covered what happened to Henley in the match in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Right, Fallon Henley was also said to be concussion protocol on the November 7th show in her match with Tiffany Stratton. When Stratton did her moonsault finisher, Stratton's knee nailed Henley near the cheekbone and kicked her silly. You could see you could see Stratton's concerned, and Henley rocked for a moment from it. And it says Stratton won the qualified for the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge as the Dijak for the men's version with a win over Tyler Bate. And it says highlights. It says highlights from the qualifier on NXT. NXT can be seen below this news story. WrestleTalk wishes Ricochet and Fallon Henley well in their recovery. Like AEW's John Moxley recently is idea of what concussion protocol should look like in wrestling, which that's another story onto their news article. But yeah, coincidentally, both Ricochet and Fallon Henley suffered concussion protocols, like from their respective matches, like with Ricochet in the Fatal 4-Way match with Ivar, Bronson Reed, and The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship opportunity against Gunther. And also, it was supposed to be a spot where Ricochet was supposed to be pinned by Ivar, while Big Bronson Reed was supposed to be pinned by The Miz, with both men getting the 3 count, making it a draw. Or a tie, I should say. With the referee being confused who to pin on, because they both were pinning their respective opponents on the mat at the same time. And then there'll be a rematch for a one-on-one number 10 match who declares the true winner, which it was supposed to be The Miz, but Ivar will be so close to possibly will beat The Miz because he's getting pushed as a single star. But this match, this storyline rivalry against Gunther needs to be The Miz for many ways, for multiple reasons, of course. And yeah, that would make sense for The Miz to face him. Even if it's a short-term feud, it will be a great rivalry with them building up for the next couple of weeks with Survivor Series. With Survivor Series happening, and even if they held it, they had a rematch and another Raw like next month in December, like in a Christmas special or New Year's, like a New Year's special, or whatever, yeah, or even in January, of course. It'll be very perfect for The Miz taking on Gunther. And even if they have Ivar face him in the future, that'll be fine as well. But anyways, back to the injury list. I hope for both Henley and Ricochet the full and fast for speedy recovery. And hopefully they figure out this injury to be not really a bad a bad injury. Let's hope this won't be bad and it'll be out of action for, like, I would say 3 or 4 to 6, 7, maybe 8 months, if not a whole year, like from because of this injury alone. But, but what do you think when Ricochet and Fallon Henley will make their respective returns? And like I said, I'll pray for a full and fast and speedy recovery for this sorry about that, full and fast and speedy recovery. And we're gonna move on to the next news now. It said reports WWE makes offer to top international star. And it says an update has emerged on current NJPW women's champion Julia potentially signing with WWE following recent speculation about her next move. Following a following a recent report that would report that WWE has an interest in signing Julia, in that she was expected to be at the WWE Performance Center sometime this month. Another report stated that Julia is under contract with Stardom through to March of 2024, and her being at the PC likely wouldn't be possible. Dave Meltzer shared a new update on the situation. Is the latest edition in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, noting that WWE is looking for someone who can make a difference in its women's divisions, like reporting that WWE has actually made an offer to Julia. Meltzer wrote, "We do know that Julia is under contract to the Bush, the made a contract to Bushy Road through March, which is when most of the contracts with Bushy Road ends." She would dare she would there theo theo theory theoretically that she would theoretic theor theor she'll be theoretically have theoretically multiple opinions in Japanese. I mean, not Japanese, in Japan and in the US, including Bushy Road, AEW, WWE, or somebody else in Japan. She had verbal compliments in Japan as well past the date of her contract expiring, but we are told WWE made her an offer and she had not decided what to do. We don't know the nature of the offer from WWE. She earns more in Japan than the women in NXT, although they can afford an NXT deal if they wanted to do that. Would beat her Japan in earnings. If this is a main roster offer, that is well above that she would be making in Japan. Julia won the New Japan Strong Women's Championship from the inaugural title holder Willow Nightingale in July. Previous reports noted that the original plan was Mercedes Moné to defeat Willow Nightingale to become the first champion at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Resurgence event in May. However, an audible was called for Willow to win after Monet suffered a broken ankle during the match. This has naturally led to speculations that Monet will target Julia after returning from injury. And do you think that will be the case? Like, will she be the one to defeat Julia, and then that would send her off to leave New Japan, and possibly join WWE, if not AEW. And yeah, it was supposed to be Mercedes Moné to beat Willow Nightingale for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship in the finals in the tournament at the New Japan Resurgence pay-per-view, or event, I should say. I'm not sure if it's even a pay-per-view. I would say it's their special event from NJPW. But it'll probably seem like a pay-per-view in America because I think you have to buy it out of a pay-per-view onto Fight TV or Bleachers Report or wherever the pay-per-view sites that New Japan have their wrestling events from. But anyways, it like Willow Nightingale, had to be called to declare the winner because right after, like I said before, I told the story before, at least this side of the story, like a billion times, like where Mercedes Moné hits a hot shot right onto Willow Nightingale, like off the top rope and right onto the top rope, landed on her foot, 2 feet, like, but injured one of her ankles, like, and she was supposed to be the one to win the match because it was I would say was that dedicated, but I would say it's likely that it is because she was like possibly the reason why they made the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. So it was the predetermined plan that she was going to win, but the injuries had to interfere and be sustained, and so they have Willow to win, and then a couple months later, that's when Julia wins, and she's the New Japan Strong Women's Championship to this day. So we could possibly see, like, if Moné makes her return and she can dethrone her and finally become the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, possibly the first ever woman at New Japan woman to be both the IWGP Women's Championship and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, and she can also be the third ever Women's Championship, even though she was supposed to be the first ever. But yeah, only time will tell when that happens. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And do you think that she's going to sign with WWE or AEW, Julia? Y'all let me know also in down below. We got some Survivor Series news now as potential spoilers on change to WWE Survivor Series War Games lineup, and it says right here, according to this WrestleTalk article, a potential spoiler has emerged on plans for the War Games match set for the upcoming WWE Survivor Series War Games Premium Live event. Following recent speculation, a War Games match has now officially been announced. For the November 25th show, as of writing, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and JD Madonna will represent the Judgment Day against the team of Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. It was, it, I mean, yeah, it was. It has been rumored that these lineup are not final, and that Drew McIntyre will wrestle alongside the Judgment Day, teaming teaming with the belt. Like like according to Dave Meltzer in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, this idea is under consideration. So there in a chance that we'll see the Scottish Warrior join forces with the Judgment Day, saying there were reports that this will change and McIntyre will be a part of the Judgment Day team. I was just told that this is under consideration and could happen. That could that would lead to someone having to be added to the other side. This all comes after McIntyre was spotted talking to Rhea in the background of a recent episode of WWE's Monday Night Raw. McIntyre has had a, 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 uh, more overt interaction with the Judgment Day member since then, with Ripley approaching McIntyre after his match at Crown Jewel. Earlier in the night, McIntyre had unsuccessfully challenged for Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight title on Monday's November 6th edition of Raw. McIntyre interestingly left a backstage interview segment when asked what's next for him. To check out announcement cards for Survivor Series Challenge, Survivor Series 2023 War Games. Which is gonna be in another news article, which hopefully it's in this list or today's video. But anyways, up next we got some major changes major changes to WWE's presentations approved by Vince McMahon. It says right here, Vince McMahon has changed his stance on what would be a major change to the WWE presentation of its product. While WWE shows, including premium live events and even matches, have seen corporate advertising and sponsorship, and an area that hasn't been touched has been the ring. And it says right here, a common feature that in boxing and mixed martial arts appears WWE could be making the change in the future. Reflecting on the TKO group earnings, called Dave Meltzer. Called Dave Meltzer revealed that in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that that another change you can expect is to look of the ringside arena. In the past, Vince McMahon was a pro was a proponent a proponent of a clean ring, meaning no advertising on the mats. The barricades or or around the ring in the ringside area, of course, obviously that has changed due to the influence influence of Nick Khan. They noted that Vince is no longer thinking that 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 way and that advertising and around the ring will be opening up more advertising in inventory, and they are very happy McMahon agreed to it. McMahon's authority over WWE under TKO has been reported like mother that it's been margin and margin marginalized 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 like since the merger. It has also recently been revealed that he is selling in a a quantity of his TKO stock. And what do you think about this change, this sudden change for WWE in the future of having sponsors being advertised with their logos onto the barricades and even in the on the ring canvas? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And I kind of noticed that, like, the only thing they had logoed onto their barricades is like their respective shows, like NXT or SmackDown or Raw, when Vince McMahon was still the chairman onto the WWE from the W. But like, and before they put their logos on there, it was just black, like it was just black barricades, like it was like it was black barricades without any logos whatsoever. Like even their WWE logos were not even on there yet until later on into Vince McMahon's run as CEO, or not CEO, as the chairman. But anyways, would you like this change from love this change from WWE since their TKO merger with Endeavor with the UFC? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. We're gonna move on to the next news now. It's some John Cena health update news after WWE Crown Jewel match. It says right here, 16-time world champion John Cena has shared a health update after his recent match at WWE Crown Jewel. Cena lost to Solo Sikoa and looked to be saying goodbye after the match, at least for now. The Hollywood actor strikes has now ended with SAG-AFTRA and and the amp in the amp in the empty, which is AMPTP, forming a tenta a intentive it's called tentative agreement with Cena, previously stating that his WWE run would end when the strike ended. It is unclear when we'll next see him on WWE TV. John Cena has now taken to social media to thank ortho what they call it? The orthopedic sur, surgeon Jeff uh, or the orthopedic surgeon Jeff Douglas, I think it's Douglas, as Douglas for the procedure. He had Andrews sports medicine in ortho orthoped orthopedic orthopedic center, the orthopedic center in Birmingham, Alabama. Nothing that he now has one arm fixed. Cena tweeted, "Thank you to Jeff Dugas and and your entire team in Birmingham. One arm fixed, clean, and headed for therapy, and arm left to go." Again, he said, "Thank you, and thank you again, and see you ASAP for the next one," including dark matches. Cena wrestled 7 bouts during his recent WWE run, ending with his loss to Solo Sikoa at the November 4th Crown Jewel Premium Live event. One of Cena's Hollywood projects has reportedly been was entirely scrapped despite finishing filming. You you can read more about that into the next wrestling news article, which I hope is on this list. But yeah, what do you think about John Cena uh, being being injured and having an arm injury and getting a surgery procedure on it, like in this at this uh at this medical facility in Birmingham, Alabama? Y'all let me know down in the comments below, and I hope he's gonna have a full and speedy recovery, and hopefully he does gets more success in Hollywood, and also hopefully we'll see him again soon in WWE. Possibly, hopefully it's a possibility chance that he'll make it at least to WrestleMania, the show of shows. But only time will tell for that. Update on WWE NXT potentially going on the road. And it says right here, according to this article, the new broadcasting home for WWE NXT in 2024 was officially announced earlier this week. It was announced that NXT would be airing on the CW network, returning to broadcast television after being on cable on the USA Network. The show also received a 70% increase on its rights deal, the highest in the history of the NXT show, with NXT moving to the CW and the show currently rising in viewership. There has been speculation about NXT going on the road and leaving the Performance Center in 2024. In a update from House of Wrestling in regards to NXT hitting the road, it is said to not sound like there is a plan to start immediately. There is there is there is said to be major interest across the company to make NXT feel bigger, but don't wish to do so at the expense of overexposing the brand. Like the current run that NXT is on has been well received and are growing the show's audience, but WWE is holding off on taking the show on the road until demands is strong enough for it to happen. It was also reported that some in WWE are of the belief NXT will consistently over will outdraw AEW Dynamite in 2024. Like, and what do you think about this? And do you think when do you think that NXT is going to be starting to tour on the road, like to be in different, like outside of W the CWC, the Capital Wrestling Center, and the Performance Center, like in every city and state tour, like whatever it is, like it's in the central Midwest part or the northern part, the southern part, the eastern part, like in the northern east, the southeast, or the north, or or even the northwest, or the north, or the southwest, or the west coast, or anywhere in the state. Like, do you think they're going to be touring around everywhere like they do on Raw and SmackDown? Sound off in the comments down below. We're going to move on to the next news now. And it's some AEW news. Is an AEW star injured training for upcoming Dynamite match? And it says, like, a big sponsor match is set to take place on next week's episode of AEW Dynamite in November 15th. The match will pit Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi and Chris Jericho and Paul White against the Don Callis family, like in a Dragon Street Fight sponsored by Sega. Ibushi has taken part in several multiple man matches during his time in AEW, and he's shared a photo from his training for next week's match. Taking Twitter today, Ibushi noted that his training for the upcoming bout has completed, but he suffered a break in his hand, and during so was it like this match? We're going broken hand in doing so. He wrote, Street fight training is over. The back of my hand broke when I threw in a full swinging, but it would have revealed. I mean, not healed. It would have healed in 3 days. Omega and Jericho are set to team up once again at Full Gear against the Young Bucks when them becoming the new #1 contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Champions if they win. And there's a tweet, which I'm not sure if you will understand this, like for those who don't speak Japanese, but this is what he tweeted on Twitter. And what do you think? And it shows the images of his broken hand. But if you translated that, that's what he says onto that report about he broke in the back of his hand onto the top caption of the post on Twitter. But yeah, what do you think about this match, and who you think is going to win? Is it going to be Team Jericho and Omega's Golden Jets alliance, like with their both former WWE and their New Japan teammates? Like, well, Jericho's teammate in WWE, which formerly known as the Big Show, while Kenny Omega's tag team partner when they won the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship and New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kota Ibushi. But yeah, what do you think about this? Y'all let me know down in the comments below, and we're going to move on to the next news story. And my prediction, by the way, is definitely on Team Jericho and Omega, because I believe the Don Callis family have too many wins under their belts. So it won't make any sense to give them another one. Belief within, we got some more news about belief within WWE, like that current AEW product is code. And it says right here, WWE, NXT, and AEW Dynamite went head-to-head against in a throwback to their old Wednesday Night Wars back on October 10th. However, unlike most of those Wednesday nights back in 2020, it was NXT who came out on top in this skirmish. The NXT show benefit from featuring many major names like such as John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and even The Undertaker, but the integration of those names has helped the show grow. It was announced this week that NXT would be heading to the CW in October 2024 at a 70% increase of rights from their previous deal on the USA Network. And it says in an update of House of Wrestling, there is a belief within WWE that NXT will consistently outdraw AEW Dynamite next year, and when it moves to the CW. Saying it was a skill, also noted that there generally appears to be a belief with the company that the current AEW product is code, even with the top stars they have brought over from WWE, such as Bryan Danielson and Adam Copeland. AEW's ticket sales for their live events has decreased over the past few years, and while they did sell over 80,000 for Wembley Stadium, they have been inconsistent in the United States. This week's NXT shows drew in 794,000 viewers, with the only advertised main roster stars ahead of the show being Akira Tozawa and the rest of the Alpha Academy. And what do you think about this about the ratings are increasing on NXT, but also AEW decreasing their ticket sale and sometimes their viewerships and onto their shows. I'll let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, like NXT beat them in the ratings back a month ago, and exactly a month ago in October 10th, which is a month from now, from since then, in November 10th of talking about this on the latest wrestling news video. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all guys to be the judge of that and sound off in the comment section right down below if they're going to be more competition again with Dynamite, which I'm not sure that will happen because even for them moving to the CW, they're still going to be coming on Tuesdays. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next wrestling news. Now is more about the competition with NXT and AEW. Report belief within WWE that NXT will constantly outdraw AEW Dynamite. The new television home for WWE NXT was announced earlier this week. It says with the show officially set to move to the CW network in October 2024. NXT's move to the CW will see the show return to broadcast, return to broadcast television, as well as the show receiving a 70% increase in rights once again. Wait, did I already talk about this? Yeah, I already talked about this. Never mind. My apologies. Well, I did have two of those, but anyways, okay, we got some Mariah May from AEW news now. Is plans were revealed by her, and saying right here, according to this article, AEW's latest signing was officially revealed on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite when Mariah May appeared in a backstage segment with RJ City. And it said right here, in the segment, May spoke to RJ about Storm, with RJ noting that he would introduce May to Toni Storm on next week's show. It says right here, the story between Storm and May is set to get underway following May's signing, and we now know the direction to the company may be taking the character. Is per the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the story between the two is set to be based on All About Eve, which may have speculated about it. Dave Meltzer noted the story they are doing with May and Storm is based on All About Eve, which some figure out immediately. The Luther character is based on Max from Sunset Boulevard, and Storm is based now just a Gloria Swanson, but also Betty Davis. All About Eve is a 1950s movie that won 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It's considered one of the greatest movies of all time. The story is about Broadway star like who turns 40 and worried about her career. Played by Davis, and is especially the Storm character, and Eve is this fangirl of Margot Channing, Davis's character. Eve, May become a big part of Channing's life as fangirl who starts manu like man manipulating things until she basically becomes the new young star to push her out. Storm is set to challenge Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's World Championship at Full Gear next week. And even if excuse me, and if what's her name will be in her corner as fangirl, Miranda May, and not Miranda. I'm thinking about Bunk, but anyways, Mariah May, like if there's any if Mariah May will be on her corner supporting her favorite wrestler, Toni Storm, the person that inspired her of being in the pro wrestling business in the first place. That remains to be seen, but it looks like we possibly would see Toni Storm beating Hikaru Shida, being the second ever women's world champion, but it'll probably be with some shenanigans and interference with what's her name, with Mariah May, and that will help her get the win. She'll be her lackey, I guess, and then she'll be some kind of I would say this will be kind of the opposite of the fan stalking storyline in WWE with Mickie James and Trish Stratus, like back in 2006, because Toni Storm will appreciate her support and her help by becoming AEW Women's World Champion. She'll be some kind of assistant lackey into this alliance. And what do you think about this? Do you think that will happen? And do you agree on my theory about what could possibly happen? My theorized prediction, I should say. Or do you think that she's going to cost her of being the 3-time AEW Women's World Championship, and they'll be in some kind of a program with Mariah May will be into denial of not doing it to her? Or do you think she'll say this was all part of the plan, and she'll be showing her jealousy into Toni Storm? Like, it could be that way as well. But I think it's going to be with her helping her. She's going to be her fangirl lackey into this alliance, or my opinion onto this matter. But yeah, y'all let me know right down in the comment section right down below. And also yeah, only time will tell. We'll see something like that, but it says right here, WWE believes new women are need for main roster, and it says right here, it was recently reported that WWE has interest in the current New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Yeah, New Japan. No, I haven't read this yet. Women's champion Julia has said to be a priority target for the company. who have had interest in her for a number of years. And it says right here in an update on the Wrestling News Observer Radio by Dave Meltzer discussed WWE's interest in Julia, that and the belief that in the company that the main roster needs some new women when discussing potential NXT call-ups. Like, he noted that there are obviously some ready to be called up. The idea is that they don't want to take too many from the NXT roster at once, saying those in WWE noted that they believe the main roster needs some new women, and NXT has women ready to go right now to the main roster. But the idea is they don't want to take too many at once. WWE's most recent NXT call-ups were the Creed brothers joining Monday Night Raw with Ivy Nile joining them. Kairi Sane also made her return to the company at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia last weekend. And do you think Julia could be the same, like be on the main roster with either the likes of Kairi Sane or even what's her name, Ivy Nile? And do you think WWE really is looking at her as a priority of the company? Sound off in the comment section right down below. We got some recent AEW match canceled due to Star wanting to put over opponents. On this Wrestling News article now, as the October 20th episode of AEW Rampage only featured 3 matches rather than the usual 4 that take place on the show. The show featured the Rocky Romero versus Mystico match, as well as a three-way between Kip Sabian, John Silver, and Isaiah Cassidy to dynamite to contender for the International Championship. However, another match was booked for the show, and the reason that didn't take place has now been revealed. In the same Wrestling Observer newsletter episode, Dave Meltzer noted that match between Commander and Metalik was booked for the show, but ended up being pulled due to Metalik not wanting to put over Commander. He wrote it. The reason that October 20th episode of Rampage show had only 3 matches instead of 4 is because Commander versus Metalik was booked for the show, and then pulled when Metalik refused to put Commander over. Metalik still worked Collision a few days after, but that can't have helped his standing here. Meltzer also noted that Commander may have dropped his championships in AAA due to his commitments with AEW. And first of all, what you thought about Grand Metalik? This rare rejection from a wrestler, not putting over another wrestler. Like, about a cancellation of a match. Like, what do you think about this latest news and this rarest wrestler not putting over another wrestler on AEW? Excuse me, on AEW with Metalik not wanting to put over Commander. And what y'all let me know down in the comments below. And do you think that he has beef with Commander, or if it's for some kind of or is it because he didn't see anything right about it into the wrestling side of things? Y'all let me know down in the comments below on that. Also, what do you think about what do you think about Commander dropping all his championships that he won from AAA due to his working duties with AEW? Y'all also let me know also in the comment section right down below. Hopefully it's not about they having beef, and this is probably because he didn't see anything right. Like, that's what my hoping is, but it could be either one at this point, like about between Commander and Grand Metalik. But only time will tell when we see if we're going to hear any news about this latest news, like into the next article. Just stay tuned in until then. But let's move on to the next wrestling news story now is we got some more Vince McMahon news now. It declines to comment on allegations. And it says right here, Vince McMahon announced his initial retirement from WWE back in July 2022. McMahon's retirement came after an article in the Wall Street Journal about two light allegations against him, which ultimately ended him with him stepping away from the company. Vince McMahon spoke to Fox News ahead of Veterans Day, touting WWE headquarters in Stanford, rising a flag in support of the Veterans Day, or of the veterans, I should say, during the Fox News article. It was noted that McMahon was asked about the allegations that led him stepping away, but he declined to comment. Anyways, where was that? Oh, yeah. This is what McMahon in the article noted. McMahon, 78 years old, has been mostly out of the public eye over the last couple of years as he faced sexual assault allegations, a lawsuit that was later settled in a federal investigation. And it said, when asked for comments by Fox News Digital, McMahon declined. McMahon sold 8.4 million shares of TKO stocks, and it says right here, yesterday, which would equate to roughly 30% of his power in the company. This came just after TKO publicly noted that Vince McMahon's presence on the board was risk factor that could have adverse impact on business. And what do you think about Vince McMahon not wanting to comment onto the allegations against him from the hush money scandal and sexual assault from the women that he paid to have some exchanges with, like, if you know what I mean by that, but by this term I'm using, because I don't want to really use some inappropriate terms, like in case of risk of restrictions of a restriction strike onto my YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all decide in the comment section right down below. We're gonna move. We got an AEW star being forced to lose championship, and it says right here, WWE. Well, I mean not WWE. AEW. I'm starting to sound like JR right now. Like Jim Ross, yeah. AEW wants Commander to feature regularly on on Collision, meaning that he could be dropping the AAA title like that he currently holds. Commander made his AEW debut in March of 2023. In fact, in the face of the Revolution, later ladder match, and went on to make his ROH debut at Supercard, the Supercard of Honor, of March 31st. And it says right here, Tony Khan would confirm that the Mexican wrestling star had signed an AEW contract on April 19th, 2023, with Commander being both the Lucha Libre AAA World Cruiserweight Champion and one half of the AAA World Tag Team Champions, with Arez. AEW plans may cut his championship reign short. According to Dave Meltzer, revealed the plans. Commander on AEW Collision in his Wrestling Observer Radio, saying Commander, who has the Cruiserweight and Tag Team titles with Alvarez, here may have to be dropped them, not to drop them. AEW pretty much said they wanted Commander every Saturday on the leave is being difficult to book since AAA's TV are often on Saturdays. Commander has previously been approached by WWE and AEW before choosing to sign with Tony Khan. The reason for his decision to sign with AEW has previously been reported, with it being stated that WWE would put him on an NXT level deal initially after Commander's AEW debut. It was reported that Tony Khan had hoped to get El Hijo de Vikingo, but he wasn't available for the match. Vikingo would go to make his AEW debut on the March 22nd, 2022 episode of AEW Dynamite. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, what do you think about Commander dropping his titles, which there's specifically on this news report that is what do you think about about specifically the AAA Cruiserweight and the Tag Team Championships, like with his tag team partner. He had to drop because of his AEW working duties. Y'all let me know down in the comments below, like, what do you think about what's exactly like and I mean AEW I had him do this for. What would be the reason why, like, for which that's possibly because like they want him to be on Saturdays, which that could be the case, like it's AEW Collision. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all decide, like, if this was a good idea for Commander to drop the titles, or should he have just left the company and not agreed to do so of dropping his championships. Y'all let me know in the comment section right down below. We're gonna end this video with this final news now. But yeah, we talked about that, about he dropped the towel because in order for AEW working dudes, especially being on Collision, because they want him to be a regular on there more often. But we're gonna end this video with some great news for WWE with first SmackDown of 2024, saying the first WWE SmackDown of the new year is closed to be a sellout under its current setup with nearly 2 months to go. It says the upcoming show takes place on January 5th, 2024. Rogers, excuse me. Excuse me, my bad. Anyways, I have these bad allergies. Like at the Rogers Arena in Vancouver, like which a current setup of 11,979 WrestleTalks was reported that there were 11,832 tickets, like distributed as of 9:42 p.m. in Eastern on November 9th. This leaves 147 tickets available for a show that is still 8 weeks away. As WrestleTalk notes, 1,459 additional tickets have been distributed in past 5 days. Tickets distributed refers to tickets that have been sold and given away combined, the WWE event page for the January 5th episode of Friday Night SmackDown list LA Knight, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Rey Mysterio, Bobby Lashley, and Jimmy Uso as featured superstars. And it shows right here, they sold most of the tickets all around the arenas, like most of them. Give you 10 seconds to look at this. And if you need some more time, I would recommend you to pause this video to look at more of it. But what do you think about this latest achievement, like from Friday Night SmackDown, to start off the new year, like with them getting more tickets being sold than being unsailed at all whatsoever? Like, sound off in the comments below. What do you think about this? I think this is really great to start off the new year of selling most tickets and seats, like for the arena in Rogers Arena in Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada, of course. But anyways, yeah, y'all, let me know in the comments down below. And for those guys that's going to the show, that's watching this video, let me know in the comments below, and I'll give you a big hearts up for telling me about it. Like, and also And also, I hope you'll have a great time on that episode of Friday Night SmackDown in the first January and the first ever SmackDown of 2024. But yeah, this is the end of this list on this wrestling news video. But yeah, I'm happy that they're selling out like tickets that's like for like 11. Our current setup was 11,979, which did contributed like 11,808 birdie. But yeah, like contributed like 11,832, which that leads up to like 167 more tickets to be sold. But I'm happy that they're getting this latest success. But yeah, that's the end of this. But anyway, yeah, we'll talk about it like in the next couple of months from now. Or in the next month or two from now, but yeah, that's our list. This is my playable lifesaver right here when I go out to space. No, I'm just kidding. This is my nephew's. This is my nephew's little lightsaber. Hopefully I get some sponsors by using this. But anyways, that's our list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up and. Not leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Then give me a huge thumbs up. Comment. You already did say that. Subscribe. Click the bell notifications so you won't miss my upcoming videos where I'm gonna upload. Especially my wrestling wrestling review videos. That's gonna be up this evening, which will be Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage, which will be episode 116 and 17. Be careful, Trey. 116 and 17 episodes of the reviews, which will be part 13 of. And yeah, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This was the 115th episode of the SNA podcast. And this is the wrestling news part 36 of me making wrestling news videos. And I hope you enjoyed the list of the news that I was reading onto the WrestleTalk articles. Trey, you be careful with that. Anyways, which one was your favorite onto this wrestling news list? Sound off in the comments also about that as well. And I'll see you all later on this evening. Hopefully y'all have a great Friday afternoon. And I'll see you tonight or this evening or whenever. Possibly tonight, after when not Raw, both SmackDown and Rampage are off the air. But until then, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out. Bye-bye, my SNA fans.